ABC 10 News at 5 starts right now.
In a major change, California is now recommending everyone wear masks indoors again. How local businesses feel about the move as they try to rebound from the effects of the pandemic. And a new study linking COVID-19 to a lower IQ. We take an in-depth look at how the illness may contribute to cognitive decline.
Plus, the new effort to ban so-called ghost guns in the city of San Diego.
ABC 10 News at 5 starts now.
California is now recommending everyone return to indoor masking regardless of their vaccination status as that Delta variant continues to spread. Good evening. I'm Steve Atkinson.
And I'm Lindsay Pena. That move comes one day after similar guidance was announced by the CDC. ABC 10 News reporter Rena Nakano is joining us from the County Administration Building. And Rena, some parents who want to make mask wearing a choice were rallying there a short time ago.
Yeah, that's right. This rally is about to wrap up right now. These parents, like you said, they're not against masks altogether. They say they just want the choice whether or not to have their children wear these masks. But these masks stretch so much more than just the K through 12 industry. We took a look at the restaurant industry. The past 17 months have been a roller coaster for Chivico 1845 owner Dario Gallo.
I think that people are tired about all of this.
He's short-staffed and still recovering from the effects of the pandemic, but the loosening of restrictions a few months back started helping him get back on track.
Now that we're allowed to seat people indoor, it's a big help because, of course, is more capacity for restaurants.
But this week, the CDC, state and county retracted its masking recommendations, saying they are now urging everyone, regardless of vaccination status, to wear masks indoors. Experts say the Delta variant is far too contagious to take the risk.
I feel sorry for business owners that are going to have to try to enforce this and some of the conflict that they might see. I would just beg people to just go along with it, just wear the mask, get the vaccine, protect yourself, and we'll hopefully move past this.
At this point, no one is enforcing anything. Masks are only recommended and not required in restaurant settings. But Gallo says he isn't too fond of it possibly becoming a mandate again. Months ago, when masks were required for customers, Gallo remembers a few instances where patrons would verbally attack hostesses. It may also result in a drop in sales again.
A part of the people, they're not going to go out to restaurant anymore and they will maybe do takeouts and delivery. So it's going to impact us, yes, I believe.
And Gallo is closely monitoring Cal OSHA to see if his staff will have to wear these masks again. Now, as for his customers, he's checking to see if this recommendation will too become a mandate. Live in the Embarcadero, I'm Rena Nakano, ABC 10 News.
Thank you, Rena. And starting tomorrow, Apple will require shoppers to wear masks again at half of its U.S. stores. It's the first major retailer to confirm a change to its policy. Stores that will require masks are in COVID hotspots or in areas that have local or state mandates.
Today, Pfizer released new data suggesting a booster shot can greatly increase protection against that Delta variant. For an in-depth look, we spoke to a local doctor about whether this is necessary. Pfizer's research looked into administering a third dose at least 6 months after your second dose. The company says antibody levels against Delta in people ages 18 to 55 are greater than 5-fold compared to their second shot. In people 65 to 85, antibody levels are greater than 11-fold. 23 people were part of this study. Dr. Jotu Sandhu with Sharp Healthcare says the data is encouraging, but he does give a warning.
It's always good to hear that we have updated information and therapies for an evolving virus. But at the same time, pharmaceutical companies also have their personal interests in mind.
Some critics say that Pfizer is incentivized by pushing that booster shot. Today, Pfizer also released its latest financial information, reporting $7.8 billion in vaccine sales last quarter. That's just the last quarter, nearly half of its total sales of $19 billion. The biopharmaceutical giant is up 92% year over year in revenue. The company expects sales for its vaccine this year to reach about $33.5 billion. That's up nearly 30% from its forecast 3 months ago.
And so as a medical professional, we want to take unbiased information. And so we rely on the CDC for guidance. And the CDC also does a rigorous investigation in terms of other therapies that are out there and new therapies before we make any clinical decisions in the office.
The CDC and the FDA have said a booster is not necessary yet. Pfizer is planning to seek emergency use authorization for its third dose as soon as next month.
We're getting new insight into the brain fog felt by so many COVID long haulers. A new study finds people who recover from COVID can have the kind of cognitive declines you'd find in someone who had a stroke. ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl is going in depth on the question, can COVID affect your intelligence?
The study looked at tens of thousands of people who took the Great British Intelligence Test. It's designed to measure problem solving, reasoning, and memory. Indicate the smallest number of moves needed. 4, 5, 6. Yes! And they found that even people who recovered from a mild case of COVID scored below average for their age and education level. And those who recovered from a really serious case had the equivalent of a 7-point drop in IQ. The study out of the UK found people had measurable drops in thinking skills up to 9 months after their infection. Neurologist Dr. Jennifer Graves is also researching long haulers at UC San Diego.
We do know that there are other viruses that can trigger neurologic complications, but this is quite striking.
She says the UK findings are in line with other studies that have found cognitive changes in up to 30% of COVID patients after a hospital stay and up to 80% after a trip to the ICU. But even though this latest research involved a so-called intelligence test, Dr. Navaz Karangia says don't be fooled.
Intelligence usually refers to what people think of one's innate ability to think, and it's a permanent thing. It's also a very culturally biased and loaded term. So I would not refer to what this study has found as a change in people's intelligence at all.
She says the findings have to do with long haulers' ability to focus, multitask, and remember, not really their permanent IQ. The authors found people with some kind of mild COVID symptoms had a small but measurable drop in score. Those who were hospitalized or put on a ventilator had a much bigger drop, bigger than people who previously had a stroke. But Dr. Karangia says that's not quite a fair comparison.
A stroke is an entirely different phenomenon. It causes part of the brain to actually die, right? And the way that we recover is by growing new connections very slowly. And because we don't know whether the causes of these changes after COVID is biological or psychological, it is way too early to compare it to stroke. It could be much more reversible. It could completely improve over time.
Doctors at UCSD are still trying to figure out exactly how COVID affects the brain, whether the virus attacks brain cells directly or causes chain reactions that affect oxygen levels or some combination. But it's something they're studying right now.
The good news is we've been tracking these patients for many months now, and the majority of patients, even if they worsen for a few weeks after their COVID infection, do tend to get better after 3 to 6 months period of time.
But a small number of people still have symptoms beyond that. She says once they pinpoint the mechanisms, they can come up with better treatments. But how COVID affects the brain is something they plan to study for the next 10 years. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
Other studies have compared COVID's impact on brain function to early Alzheimer's or dementia. Experts say it's yet another reason to get vaccinated. And you can follow any developments surrounding the pandemic by downloading our free mobile app. Just go to the App Store and search 10 News.
A local substitute teacher is now facing child pornography charges. 31-year-old Andrew Jared Primes was arrested yesterday. Police say that Primes had and distributed thousands of images of child abuse. Officers are looking now for potential victims. Primes has worked for Poway Unified School District, San Diego Union High School District, and has worked at the Boy Scouts of America Fiesta Island Summer Camp. Investigators want anyone who suspects that Primes of victimizing other children to contact San Diego Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. The number is right there at the bottom of your screen. The man accused of shooting and killing a mother in Spring Valley has pleaded not guilty to all charges. The court has asked us not to show his face, but prosecutors say that 26-year-old Hamario Austin shot Carmen Anderson in front of her daughter and her husband as they sat in a parked car back in April. She later died at the hospital. Prosecutors say that Austin was out hunting a rival gang member with an AK-47 style rifle the day that Anderson was shot. The court has denied bail.
Turning now to our weather, temperatures are rising once again across San Diego County as we take a live look outside. ABC 10 News meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking that heat. Hi, Angelica.
Hi, Lindsay. Temperatures back in the 90s today. You can see that right here in Ramona, just dropping a degree now since, about 5 minutes ago. 87 in Poway. Today's temperatures did make it to 96 degrees in Valley Center and 93 in Ramona. So it's very warm, but it's not just the heat. We've also seen a couple of thunderstorms, and you can see most of the activity for the last 3 hours. What's actually happening right now? Not much. It is actually starting to die down, but we'll see a better chance for additional thunderstorms in the county. I'll pinpoint when we'll see those again and what the heat looks like for the rest of the week.
Angelica, thank you. There could soon be new gun regulations in the city of San Diego, focusing on what's commonly known as ghost guns. Our ABC 10 News reporter Melissa Macia shows us what one council member is proposing and why gun advocates call it unnecessary.
In the middle of the gas lamp, Justice Bolden lost his life. It was April 22nd. Justice was a valet attendant. A man started shooting, killing him and 4 others. Justice's mother left with a never-ending heartache.
We miss Justice terribly. I mean, he was such a huge part of his sister's and my life.
Police say the suspected shooter used a ghost gun, a weapon with no serial number. Now one council member wants to do something about it.
It'll be a step in the right direction to prevent gun violence because I don't want to wait for others to act. I want to save lives today.
Marnie von Wilpert introduced what's being called the Enough Ordinance. It would make the sale of the unfinished gun kits illegal in San Diego. The kits are typically 80% completed and the buyer finishes building the gun. It comes with no serial number. You're supposed to apply for it through the DOJ.
The goal of this ordinance is to prohibit these unserialized parts from even entering the city of San Diego at all. And if somebody wants to assemble a firearm at home, it has to come with a pre-serialized kit.
The San Diego County Gun Owners Organization called the ordinance unnecessary, saying it's already illegal for anyone in California to have an unserialized firearm. The executive director told me San Diego's extremist ordinance that criminalizes pieces of metal and plastic will not accomplish their stated goal of stopping crime, continuing to go after the rights, hobbies, and tools of people who abide by the law will never stop criminals from committing crime. According to a San Diego police report from June, ghost gun seizures nearly tripled from 77 in 2019 to 211 last year. That number is expected to more than double by the end of this year. I'm Melissa Macia, ABC 10 News.
The ordinance will be brought up at Monday's City Council meeting.
The city of San Diego is coming under fire for multiple properties it acquired in the last few years. An independent audit is now exposing problems, including a serious lack of policies and oversights. 5 buildings are being looked at, including 101 Ash Street, all totaling more than $230 million. That audit found the Real Estate Assets Department under Mayor Faulkner did not understand or properly disclose information about the condition of the buildings it was purchasing and did not properly disclose the information to City Council.
We have wasted millions of taxpayer dollars and we're stuck with an uninhabitable building at 101 Ash Street, overpaid for the navigation center, and can't use the Kearney Mesa repair facility to repair our fire trucks.
ABC 10 News did reach out to Faulkner's office for comment, but no response was provided.